Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys some recipes using this right here. These are going to be 5 amazing recipes using this. That means I'm going to be making some lunch, some dinner, and some dessert recipes using this. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to get us started, we're going to be making these Bisquick sausage muffins. So I need 1 pound of pork sausage, any type of breakfast sausage that you prefer. And you're just going to go ahead and ground that up until it's nice and cooked through. And then you're going to go ahead and drain off any excess grease. Mine doesn't usually have a lot of grease, so I usually just do like a paper towel if I want to drain off any grease. And then I'm going to take this to a medium bowl and just put this right into our bowl. All right, and then I have 1 cup of Bisquick, 1 cup of cheddar cheese, or any type of like sharp cheddar would be perfect. And then I have 4 eggs that I had already beaten. And I'm just going to put that all in there, and I'm just going to give this a good mix. Okay, and then I have our muffin tins. I'm going to fill these up about 2/3 of the way full. They don't come up too much, so if you want to fill them almost to the top, that's about perfect. Put these in the oven at 415 degrees for about 15 minutes, and this is what it looks like when it's all done. These are so good. These are great for like on the go. I love these. I just put these in a bag and I put them in our fridge. That way my husband and me and my family has some easy grab and go breakfast, especially for my husband. He is always on the go for breakfast time, so I'm really glad that he will get to grab those and have a good balanced breakfast. Next, we have some cheesy pigs in the blanket. So to a large bowl, I have 2 cups of Bisquick and then 1/2 cup of milk. You're just going to go ahead and give that a good stir, and it's going to take a while for you to get that stirred through. I end up using my hands about halfway through just because you kind of need to like knead it a little bit just to make sure it is, you know, not too sticky but not too dry as well. So if you need to add milk, that's totally fine. I added about a tablespoon to mine, but it just kind of depends on where you live and, you know, if you were precise on your measurements. So the next thing that we're going to do now that we have it in a ball is we need to put this into 8 pieces. Once it's cut into 8 pieces, I'm just going to use my hand and then a rolling pin to really thin this out, as I'm going to need to make my blanket. So I'm just putting a full-length hot dog in here, and then I just did like a 1/4 of a slice of American cheese, and then now I'm just kind of rolling it together, and it was kind of sticky. So if you want to spray your working area, that would work well. Also, if you want to put some flour down, that'd probably help too. But this is what my hot dogs look after I made all of them. I made about 8 of them. I put them in the oven 450 for about 10 minutes. Just want to make sure that Bisquick is nice and cooked through. I would definitely add more cheese to these because they were not as cheesy as I wanted them to be. Or if you don't like the cheese, you can just omit that as well. But these, of course, are good with some mac and cheese. This is like a good Sunday staple for me and my family. I love having pigs in the blanket. It's super easy. And I love the Bisquick. It made them even better. And then some mac and cheese with it. So good. Gotta have that. Ketchup and mustard dipping sauces, of course. This was a hit. Okay, now we're going to be making a cheeseburger pie. So I've made breakfast and lunch already. Now we're going to be moving on to dinner time. So I have 1 pound of ground beef, and we're just going to cook that up alongside with some onions. I have about 1/2 an onion here that I went ahead and chopped up. We're just going to cook that together and then just letting those onions soak up with that grease. Now to a medium bowl, I have 1/2 cup of Bisquick, 2 eggs, and then 1 cup of milk. And then you're just going to go ahead and give that a stir. Also, if you want to add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt, maybe just a little bit of pepper, that would help season it all out because it was a little bit on the bland side. So if you definitely like seasonings, you're going to want to add just a little bit there. And then to a pie plate, I just put in all of our ground beef and onion mixture right at the very bottom. And I'm just evening it all out. I always like to make sure everything's nice and level. I have 1 cup of cheese. You guys can use whatever type. I think a cheddar cheese would really be good in this dish. I didn't have any cheddar on hand. I just had like a Fiesta blend. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that Bisquick mixture right on top. And of course, I'm going to even that all out. And then we're going to place this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 35 minutes. I really just want to make sure that that pie really puffs up and that all that Bisquick is cooked through properly. I really enjoyed having this with some chips and some salsa. I put some salsa on top of here. Salsa on top was like a must. It made it so much better. I really think you guys are going to like this one. My family and my kids really enjoyed it. It was really good. Next, we have this Bisquick taco bag. So the first thing I need to do, of course, is our hamburger. So we're going to go ahead and ground that up, get it all cooked through. We are cooking this alongside half of an onion. So go ahead and get that chopped up and cooked through. And then make sure you drain off any remaining grease. Or you can use that paper towel method. I'm also going to add 1 ounce of taco seasoning, half a teaspoon of oregano, and half a teaspoon of cumin. Also, 1/4 cup of salsa, and then 1 can of corn. You're going to need 1 can of tomato sauce. I only put in half and then I end up putting the rest of it later. And then I'm also going to need a can of black beans. Make sure that those beans are rinsed off. And then you're just going to let it come to a simmer. Then to a large bowl, I have 1 cup of Bisquick, half a cup of milk, and 1 egg, and then go ahead and give that a good stir. Okay, and then once that's stirred through, I'm just going to put that to the side. I'm going to get a 9x13 pan and just put our beef mixture at the very bottom of that pan. Get that nice and level because we're going to be putting our Bisquick mixture right on top of that. All right, and then I did go ahead and just level all that off. And then I have 1 cup of cheese that I am going to put right on top, getting that nice and even. I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. You just want to make sure that that Bisquick is cooked through in the middle. So I always take it out and just give it a good check just to make sure everything's cooked through. All right, and that is it. This was a super easy meal to make. It made a lot. I think we had leftovers in this meal. You can pair it with a salad. You can pair it with chips and salsa. Typically for taco meals, we like to have it with chips and salsa, but it's everyone's preference, you know. Or you can even do both. It's kind of whatever you guys want to do. Even having some rice on the side, that would be really, really wonderful as well. The last thing we're going to do is I wanted to do some type of sweet, so I wanted to do this like apple cobbler. So we need half a cup of Bisquick, and then a little bit under 1/4 cup of milk, and then about 1/4 cup of sugar, or just right under, and then about a teaspoon to teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, giving that a really good stir. And then I forgot my butter, so I need about 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and then give that another good stir. I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to need an 8x8 baking dish. And I thought that these apples were a little bit more like pie filling. I definitely suggest doing like the pie filling ones. But it ended up being okay. Just made sure that I didn't have any juice with the second can. And then I'm just topping it with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. I love cinnamon. So if you don't like cinnamon as much as I do, then obviously you don't have to put as much. But I love cinnamon, so I'm definitely giving this lots and lots of cinnamon. And then I just put little spoonfuls of that Bisquick mixture that we made right on top of our apples. And then I just grabbed a little spatula, and I'm just trying my very best to kind of smooth it all out so it's nice and even. That way it'll cook a little bit more even too, and you don't get like big old chunks of Bisquick. I put this in the oven at 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes. You, of course, want to make sure that that Bisquick is nice and cooked through in the middle. It looks pretty brown, but it's just because it's super cinnamony, so it doesn't have to look like this. I just love cinnamon, maybe a little too much. But I just paired this with some ice cream, some vanilla ice cream, and y'all, this was a hit. This is a must try, you guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed all the different Bisquick hacks that I was able to do in the kitchen. If you guys do any of these, please let me know. Leave a comment below. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos and my upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.